Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G unboxing. What is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. And welcome to my unboxing of the S20 Ultra. You can see on the back here, we'll tell you what the package contains. First of all, definitely had to go with the unlocked model here. Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. And the package contains, of course, the S20 Ultra wall charger, a stereo headset, quick start guide, and also terms and conditions. So we don't really see specs on the back of this one anymore. They used to put the specs on the back of their phones. You can see Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G right there. This thing includes a 6.9-inch display, 108 megapixel zoom camera on the rear. There's also a few other cameras we'll talk about a bit later. 12 gigabytes of RAM, a Snapdragon 865, or you can get the Exynos 990 and 16 gigs of RAM is also available as an option on this phone, and 5,000 milliamp hour cell. OMG, did you hear those specs? Let those specs sink in one more time. I mean, this is the supercar of smartphones right now. So it looks like there's just one tab to get into the device. Very simple and easy. And here is the Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. You can see from the front, you know, looks pretty much like any other smartphone. Actually, looks kind of similar to the A70 one, to be honest. But there is the back with that monster camera bump. Wow. Yes, Samsung definitely is putting the focus on the camera on this one, and you can see just, I mean, look at that thing. It's a monster. If you've seen this thing in person, if you like those, you know, phones in the past with the big camera like the Lumia series, you might really love this. So let's put this phone off to the side for just a minute and explore the other contents that do come in the box. So over here, we do have like the warranty guide right here. So let's go ahead and open this up really quickly here. And unlike the other phones, you don't get a case in the box. With this one, Samsung is giving you credits though if you pre-order this, which you can still do for the next few days. And you can say this device is packaged with a screen protector. If you want to remove it, you can go ahead and do so. But you can see right there, S20 Plus 5G, S20 Ultra 5G, going to be pretty much the same manuals there. SIM card tool right there, always useful to get more of those. Pulling this tab up right here, you can see we are presented with this pretty nice 25-watt charger here, and this is a super fast charging, you know, brick right here, so we should get really good speeds. USB-C to USB-C, that's going to be nice. And then we have a USB-C cable right there for charging, and of course some more AKG headphones. I'm not a real big fan of these, but at least you get some headphones in the box here. These are going to be USB-C headphones because there is no headphone jack anymore for the S series. The last one to do that was the phone that came before this, which was the S10 Plus. So overall, pretty good packaging. I would say not quite as premium as like the Galaxy Fold or the Galaxy Z Flip box, but it's overall pretty good. Let's get that out of the way now. And here is the Galaxy S20. Let's go ahead and peel this sticker off the back. It's always nice to hear how that sounds. Not too satisfying there, but I'm a little bit nervous already just looking at this phone that we are going to get fingerprints all over the back of this one. So let's get this thing turned on. Power button is on the right side for this phone, unlike the Note 10 Plus, which is on the left side. You can see Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. First impressions just holding this phone is that it's got some weight to it, 222 grams, but it also feels extremely premium. For that person who wants the most premium device they can get, they're gonna love this S20 Ultra 5G. Now, if you don't want a super large display, this might be too big for you though. So I'm gonna go through this setup process, and if I see anything new, I will showcase it. Other than that, I will skip through this. But I will state that if you can see right here, this is about as bezel-less of a phone as you're gonna get right now. You know, this is ridiculously thin here, these bezels. So if you don't like bezels, you're gonna absolutely love any of the S20 series phones. So I did want to mention here in the setup process, you can see face recognition. Now this is not gonna be like Pixel 4 XL or iPhone, this is 2D. And over here we do have fingerprint sensor, which is the secure method. It's gonna be in display. So you're gonna actually have to do a backup pattern or a pin. And when you do so, you will have an in-display fingerprint sensor here. And so we are here at the home screen, and look at that display, a 6.9-inch monster 1440p by 3200 ppi. Let me know your thoughts on this wallpaper, but HDR10 Plus support always on display, and the big feature is in here. Let's go back. The big feature is in here in display. Look at me, so excited to see this 120 Hertz. You can see standard motion or high refresh rate 120 Hertz. Now, Honestly, I can see it right here through, my eyes, but on camera, this might not be being picked up, but this thing is incredibly smooth. Samsung is now up there with, all those other phones that we've seen last year, the 90 hertz displays like the OnePlus 7 Pro. This one's even smoother than that. So finally, you cannot say, oh, the Samsung phone, it's not smooth. This thing is incredibly smooth, and you could feel it the minute you turn that feature on. But what's really important to note is if you want to save battery, running it in 60 hertz doesn't feel that bad either. So it's kind of like what you're used to with the flagship Samsung device. So I could see some cases where I might throw this thing into 60 hertz just for battery savings. But when I want that really smooth feel, you have that option. Another option Samsung is giving you, the king of options on smartphones. So let's take a look at a couple more elements on the body before we go further. You can see that installed screen protector, those scratch up easily, but it's nice to have them on there if you don't want your phone getting all nicked up. You can see there is a USB-C. Unlike the Galaxy S10 Plus, there's no headphone jack anymore, and then the speaker grill right there, antenna slits on both sides. Now you can see from this camera angle right here that camera bump is pretty big. Now if we go down, you can see there's pretty much nothing on the left side of this device right here. And so when looking at the top, you can see there is the SIM card tray for SD card storage as well. And you can see that camera bump once again, pretty large there, microphone hole right there. And then on the right side, you can see the volume rocker as well as the power button. I like how the power button is a little bit lower than it was on some prior Samsung phones, so it shouldn't be too hard to reach. And here's a straight on look at the back of the device. You can see very curvy with a big camera bump. And one thing I want to state is that I just really like how this phone feels in the hand. It feels very curvy, not as square as like the Note series device. So this is going to be more comfortable to hold even though it's a larger display. Also, if you look very closely here, you can see that the camera hole on the front is actually smaller than before. And we do have One UI version 2.1 with Android 10 on board. So the latest software, and you should be getting the latest software for at least 2 to 3 years. And so let's take a look at some of the wallpapers included with this device. I always like to do that. And you could see there's quite a few here in the device. And really, I can't help but think about the Galaxy A51 and A71, which I'm currently reviewing the A71 when I'm holding this phone, because those phones' design overall look pretty similar. So if you do want a cheaper Samsung device, keep that in mind. But overall, I could say these wallpapers seem to be matching whatever color you go with. So if you got the black version, you're going to go with this. If you got the smaller S20 in blue, you might want to use the blue wallpapers. They're kind of color coding depending on the color you went with. Okay, and so the camera's on the back here, 108 megapixel f1.8, 26 millimeter wide lens. We also do have a periscope camera here for that 100 times zoom. Right there, you can see they call it space zoom. We're gonna see if we can zoom in on the moon on this one. I'm definitely gonna attempt that the first time I see the moon on a clear day. You better believe that. Now we have 12 megapixel camera, ultra wide as well. And we also can do 8K video on this camera. And ridiculous amounts of slow-mo, stereo sound mic, so you might not even need a microphone if you're willing to accept phone audio. It should be pretty good. And on the front side, 40 megapixel selfie camera. Let that sink in. 40 megapixel. I think the S10 was 10 megapixels. So they went up 30 megapixels on this one for the front. And you can also do, 60 FPS on that camera. Okay, so let's take a look at the camera software. So let's go ahead and see what we do get here. So I'm expecting these photos to be insanely good for a phone. And the iPhone 11 Pro Max last year was the first phone. Look, I'm way too close to be zooming that far already, but you can see, you can go all the way up to 100x on here. Now I can't go 100x in here because it's just gonna be a blurry mess. But you also have the wide angle camera on here as well. And you're gonna have, of course, your options and settings to go ahead and change the video out to 4K 60 on the rear, as well as 8K video recording is possible here on this phone. We will check that out as well later on. And also, I think you can do front video at 4K 60. Yes, you can. And of course, video stabilization, tracking autofocus, grid lines. You're gonna have all that stuff you're used to. But one important thing to note here again is that you have pro video functionality once again for the Samsung. Now they took this away. They used to have this. They took it away in future phones, and I'm happy to see we can now straight from the Samsung camera app do pro video. We also have live focus video, which will allow us to blur the background video. That's going to be amazing to test out. Super slow-mo, slow motion, hyperlapse, panoramics, night mode, and of course a pro mode video. And we'll also check out this new single take mode right here as well. And now you can see it says, welcome to single take, where your camera automatically captures the best pics and clips of any scene. Tap the shutter button on the next screen to try it out. So I will be doing that, but I don't want to do that here in studio. I want to take it out to try that one out. And so back in photo settings, you can just see, of course, right front and center, all of your features, and you can change between the 108 megapixel camera. You know, it's going to be a fantastic camera, I believe, on this phone. But some people are complaining about autofocus issues and other things. I'm going to go and test this out for myself, and I will post some content comparing this to the 11 Pro Max, its closest competitor right now. And you do have the power modes you're used to with Samsung here, but I will be keeping my eyes on battery, as you know, that 120 hertz display might put a big drain on this phone. And so that's about it for my first impressions unboxing of this device. We talked about a lot of things you need to know, but we forgot about one thing, and that is the price. $13.99 for this phone. But don't be fooled. If you do have a pretty decent phone already, you know, a popular device like a Samsung Galaxy, a Google Pixel, or even an iPhone, and you want to trade up, you will get a significant discount on this device. I didn't actually pay $13.99 for this. I'm actually trading a device in on this, and I'm getting a pretty substantial discount. And so overall, this phone really just feels like the supercar of smartphones right now. It has everything you would want in a phone. It's not super exciting though, and I'm a little bit afraid Samsung sales are going to suffer because this phone is all about one feature really, and it doesn't really have anything groundbreaking. And so I want to compare this phone to a ton of other devices in this video, just the size and things, so you can kind of get an idea. A lot of people are saying this phone is too monster, too large. For me, no. If you have a big phone already, this is not going to be too large. Like if you have a Note 10 series or you're used to large phones, I could tell you right now, you can handle this one. You can see right there next to the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And let's bring over the iPhone 11 Pro Max. You can see pretty similar sizes there, but the 11 Pro Max seems to be a little bit shorter there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Galaxy S10 Plus right there. So if you had an S10 Plus, it's definitely a more compact device than this, but this is the big boy. You can get the S20 Plus if you want something more the size of the S10 Plus. And then you can see the Galaxy S9 Plus, which I feel like is a phone a lot of people might be upgrading to one of these S20s from. You can see right there, a little bit bigger, but you can definitely handle it if you've already lived with a larger device. And of course, one-handed modes will be available, and the Google Pixel 4 XL. And also, if you want to see camera comparisons between any of those phones I just showed, let me know the ones that you are most interested in seeing a camera comparison between down below. Anyway, if you guys found the unboxing and first impressions enjoyable, click that thumbs up for me and let me know your questions. I am in the review process. The minute I start unboxings, I get right into the review process. I will be taking some photos and comparing this phone to, you know, the best in the industry. So go ahead and let me know what else you want to see before I conduct the full review on the S20 Ultra. Thank you all for watching. I will catch you on the next episode.